Socrates was a famous Greek philosopher. During his life, he had many beautiful and meaningful quotations. Join Life Lessons channel to learn about the life and famous sayings of Socrates in the video below. 1. Who is Socrates? When mentioning philosophy, it is impossible not to mention the name Socrates, a very famous Greek philosopher. He was born in 470 and died in 399 BC. Socrates was born in Athens, Greece. His father was a sculptor, and his mother was a midwife. Born into a normal family, not of noble lineage, Socrates only inherited the basic education of Greece at that time. Besides, he also followed his father to learn the trade from a very young age. Before devoting himself completely to philosophy, he worked for many years as a mason. Details about Socrates' childhood are scarce. Just know that he has a special passion for the works of natural philosophers. Although Socrates' influence on philosophy was great, he did not directly leave any words behind. Evidence about his life and activities is revealed from the notes of his students Plato and Xenophon, such as 1. He participated in the Peloponnesian War, 431–04 B.C., when Athens was invaded by the Spartans. 2. He married Mrs. Xanthippe and gave birth to 3 sons, Lamprocles, Sophroniscus and Menexenus. 3. He spends most of his time teaching young people about life and cultivating intellectual development. His nature never likes vague answers but always searches for the essence of the problem. Although he criticized Greek myths, Socrates' thoughts were deeply religious. Several works such as the Apology, Crito, Phaedo, and Symposium show Socrates' deep respect for the religious customs of Athens, his sincere reverence for the gods. In 399 BC, Socrates was now 70 years old and was accused of being an atheist, rejecting government-approved gods, and corrupting youth. Even so, he still expressed his respect for this city and firmly followed the law even when he had the opportunity to escape from prison. Socrates' life is considered a model for the life of a philosopher, as well as a model of how to live for everyone. His reputation quickly spread everywhere and became a name that everyone knew at that time. 2. Socrates' contributions to world philosophy. According to documents and records, Socrates spent most of his life on philosophy with great contributions to Western philosophy. 1. Dialectical query method. The dialectical inquiry method is also known as the Socratic method. By focusing on listening to discussions, then asking questions from the position of someone who has no knowledge about that field, until the discussion reaches its final points. Today, law schools and fields such as coaching, psychology, and human resources have applied dialectical inquiry methods in teaching and training. 2. Inductive reasoning and general definitions. Inductive reasoning is a method of analyzing individual objects and phenomena, thereby drawing general principles. And Socrates was the first person to find the origin of general concepts in philosophy. 3. What is the Socratic 3-question filter? The 3-question Socrates filter helps you view things rationally, without being influenced by emotions. When each information is heard or wants to be said, 3 questions will be asked. 1. Is what the person said true? Are they witnesses or just hearers? 2. Is it beneficial for everyone involved? 3. Is it a good thing for both the speaker and the listener? You should just acknowledge without judging, avoid falling into an emotional matrix or being guided by emotions. Because there are many things we see directly but are not necessarily true. Life-changing sayings of Socrates. During his life of philosophical activities, Socrates had famous and extremely meaningful sayings that many people need to learn. Let's take a look at some of Socrates' famous quotes that have been recorded and preserved below. Improve yourself by other men's writings, thus attaining effortlessly what they acquired through great difficulty. Falling down is not a failure. Failure comes when you stay where you have fallen. The secret of happiness, you see, is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. If you want to be wrong, then follow the masses. My advice to you is to get married. If you find a good wife, you'll be happy. If not, you'll become a philosopher. In childhood be modest, in youth temperate, in adulthood just, and in old age prudent. Awareness of ignorance is the beginning of wisdom. Lies are the greatest murder. They kill the truth. True knowledge exists in knowing that you know nothing. The highest realms of thought are impossible to reach without first attaining an understanding of compassion. Let him who would move the world first move himself. Be slow to fall into friendship, but when you are in, continue firm and constant. Life contains but two tragedies. One is not to get your heart's desire, the other is to get it. It is better to make a mistake with full force of your being than to carefully avoid mistakes with a trembling spirit. The really important thing is not to live, but to live well. And to live well meant, along with more enjoyable things in life, to live according to your principles. To know, is to know that you know nothing. That is the meaning of true knowledge. He who is not contented with what he has, would not be contented with what he would like to have. Sometimes you put walls up not to keep people out, but to see who cares enough to break them down. The only good is knowledge and the only evil is ignorance. Contentment is natural wealth, luxury is artificial poverty. Do not do to others what angers you if done to you by others. We cannot live better than in seeking to become better. Prefer knowledge to wealth, for the one is transitory, the other perpetual. Hopefully through the video, Life Lessons channel has helped you gain more knowledge about Socrates as well as accumulate more philosophical lessons through each of his famous sayings.
Life Lessons channel. Thank you for watching the video.